Hello children, a very warm welcome to all of you in the science virtual session children. We are going to continue with the chapter transportation in animals and plants, chapter 11 part 6. I hope you are maintaining your notebook and you are writing all the points discussed in the session and the diagrams which has to be drawn in the notebook. Please draw the diagrams. Kindly maintain the notebook children. We were discussing about the xylem and phloem, so I hope you will have drawn this diagram. If you have not drawn this diagram in the previous session, kindly draw this because these are the important tissues which cells which helps in the transportation of water and minerals in the various parts of the plants. I hope you have drawn this. Now please write about we need to understand in detail about the transportation of water and food in plants. Let us see. From the roots, the water and minerals are transported to other parts of the plant through special kind of tissues called vascular tissues. So these are the special tissues as I have discussed. Xylem and phloem, they are tissues made up of some cells which help in the transportation. So in plants, from the roots, the plants absorb water and minerals by special kind of tissue called vascular tissues. Please take this down. And there are two types of vascular tissues present in plants. What are they? Xylem and phloem. As we have muscles and we have uh, muscle tissues, we have cells. Similarly, even plants have tissues. So here majorly we are going to discuss about xylem and phloem. Xylem, it is a vascular tissue that is responsible for transporting nutrients and water in the plants. The root cells absorb water and minerals and transport it to xylems. Xylem carry it to other parts unidirectionally without usage of energy. So, xylem carry the water and mineral to various parts of the plant. That is, the movement of water and minerals is unidirectional, means it goes in one direction. So the root cell absorb water and mineral and transport it to the xylem. I hope this is very clear and without using any amount of energy. What does phloem do? Phloem is again a vascular tissue that transport the food produced by the leaves to all the parts of the plant. That is the sink. This flow is bidirectional and utilizes energy. That means it has two direction. This is known as translocation. So it is transferring or transporting food produced by the leaves to all the parts of the body, and this flow is bidirectional. This is known as translocation. Can you see this diagram where you will see the transportation of the sucrose, and here there's a transportation of food prepared by the leaves. You can see this diagram which you have already drawn, and this has two direction, bidirectional, whereas xylem, the transportation of water, you can see over here, it is unidirectional, that means in one direction. Please draw this diagram children. I hope this concept is clear. Please take this down in your notebook children. I hope you will have taken down. So let us see a very important part of excretion, that is transpiration in plants. So as we do excretion, as animal excrete all the toxic waste from the body, that is eliminated. Similarly, plants has to give out the unwanted waste, that means it is not required by the plants. That process is called as transpiration. Sometimes not all the water that plant absorb is used by them. So basically, as we urinate, we do urination, they do transpiration. So all the water which is not utilized or absorbed by the plant, they need to get rid of this excess water in them. This loss of water in plants takes place through the process of transpiration, in which the water evaporates in the atmosphere. So leaves help in the process of transpiration, and transpiration is one of the process by which water is given out to the atmosphere. That's why we need to grow more plants. More the transpiration, better is the cloud formation, and it's very good for the water cycle. Transpiration of the plants is extremely important for maintenance of the water cycle in the nature. That's why in forest area lots of water uh, is given out in the atmosphere by the leaves of the trees, and the water cycle is maintained very easily and properly in the nature. It's just periodically that water cycle happens, and that water comes down on the earth in the form of rain. So majorly transpiration contribute to the water content in the air and help in the cloud formation. And this loss of water in plants takes place through the process of transpiration, in which the water evaporates in the atmosphere through the stomata present on the leaves. So as you know, stomata is the small pores present under the leaves, and this small opening and closing of the stomata help in the evaporation of water by the leaves. So how leaves do transpiration? With the help of stomata, which are small pores present under the leaves. You have seen stomata, they have guard cells to close and open. So those guard cells help in closing and opening. That helps in those stomata will help to give out excess water from the leaves. And stomata are tiny pores present on the leaves that allow the movement of gases and water through them. So photosynthesis and all gases exchange can happen because of stomata. This help for the leaves to prepare food by photosynthesis. Stomata help in transpiration to get rid of excess water. So please do write about transpiration. You have to cover all the detail about the leaves and the stomata as well. Transpiration results in the absorption of water. As the water from the leaf evaporates, it generates a suction pull in the plant that brings the water from the roots upward. So what happens when there's transpiration? It also helps in the absorption, because there's a difference in the water level, or it create a pull for water or suction pull. There's a difference in the water content in the parts of the plants because of transpiration, so that create a suction pull, so that water is evenly distributed in the entire part of the body of the plants. Hence transpiration helps in absorption of water. It generates a suction pull in the plant, and that brings the water from the root upwards. It is actually the pressure difference, water pressure difference in the plant, which will create a suction pull. And transpiration helps in cooling down the plants, as sweat help us to cool down. We have learned in the previous session, sweating help us to cool down. It helps to give out the heat from the body, because evaporation causes cooling. Similarly, transpiration helps to cool down plants. As the water evaporates, it utilizes the heat of the plant and result in cooling of the internal temperature of the plant. So transpiration is also very helpful. It's very helpful in regulating the body temperature of the plants. As sweating helps us to maintain the body temperature. If you don't sweat, your body temperature will increase, your blood temperature will increase, which is very harmful to your body. So sweating and air transpiration in plants, they are extremely important. Here you can see transpiration. Just have a look at this image of transpiration, where you can see a tree over here, and water absorbed by the roots. Water travel through plants, through the stem. From the root is taken up, it goes upward, goes towards all the parts of the plant, to all the branches, to the leaves, and from the leaves water evaporates from the leaf surface. And during is a summer day, evaporation becomes easier, because due to heat lots of water get evaporated from the leaves. So just have a look at this diagram to understand the concept of transpiration. Water which is absorbed, given to all the parts of the plant, goes to the leaves, goes to all the parts of the plant or the tree. Utilize the required amount, the excess water is given out on the surface of the leaves. Removal of water through stomata, we have seen in the session, where stomata help in the exchange of gases and help in transpiration. Thank you children, and have a wonderful day.